Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in to another video. Sorry this one's a little bit later than what I would have liked to have posted up, but it's here now. So if you clicked on the video, obviously you're in the market for a hoover. What actually happened with mine is it was sort of a bit of it fell off. I've actually got a photo which bit fell off, so I had to get a new hoover. I've done some research. I've actually gone from a cordless Dyson to a corded Shark, which is probably a bit of a strange way to go if you've gone from cordless to corded, but you see the reasons why in a moment. So I hope you like it. Yeah, let's dig in. Hello, welcome, let's get started. So why my Shark NZ801UK corded hoover replaced my Dyson. So if you've not done so already, please like, subscribe, notification bell. If you could do at least hit that like button, it just helps get the video promoted on YouTube and the algorithm, so when people search it, they actually come across this video, so it'll go such a long way if you could hit that like button. So why I had a Dyson V8 absolute cordless in the first place. So we had an upright Dyson before that. The thing was just so heavy, ridiculously heavy, so the next one had to be lightweight, and James Dyson was banging on about how cordless hoovers were the future, and to be honest I probably agree with him that it's the future. Needed a good battery life. 40 minutes was the one that we got on the V8, 20 minutes if you had it at the max function. Don't forget to look at the max function and how much the wattage is if you're looking at cordless, because it is going to be less because obviously you're using more power from it. And finally the convenience of it, and I can't stress the convenience of it is probably the best bit about a cordless hoover. I've got 2 kids, and the amount of mess that they make, it's just easy to get the cordless out and hoover it up straight away. Finally, we had a full package of attachments because we had the absolute version. We had the hard floor head on it. We had the mini motorized head for, I think it was a pet function on it. The crevice tool, you name it. We got all those attachments with it. So what actually happened to the cordless hoover? So you'll see in the little grey bit there's a bit of tape on there, and that's because a bit of it is actually starting to fall off. Now I don't know how this actually happened. I imagine it's just through time of it slowly falling or bashing things, just wear and tear over time. We've had it for a good at least 2 years, potentially even 3 years, and yeah, I think just over time it's wore down, it started to crack. So I stuck it down with some tape, and I was surprised it lasted about a month with that, to be honest. And I just thought, you know what, I think we can do a little bit more with this hoover situation. That's when I started looking at different hoovers. And then introducing the Shark NZ801UK. This thing looks stunning for a hoover anyway, as much as a hoover could look like. If I was comparing it to a car, it looked like a German saloon car. It's got a carpet and a hard floor switch at the flick of a button. It picks up things easy on the hard floor. It sucks up well on the carpet. I was surprised as to how much the difference was between the cordless and the corded hoover. And what I mean by difference is, I meant going over the carpet with the cordless and then going over the carpet with the upright. It is a big difference. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. It's got the grip on there as well. Again, I'll go into that in more detail. The suction power and the anti-hair up function and convenience. So with the suction power that I mentioned earlier, we actually hoovered with the old one first, then hoovered with this one, and there was still stuff in the bin. You wouldn't expect there to be much in there, but obviously the suction power is so different between the cordless and the upright. It was pulling up dust that must have been embedded deep within the carpet, and it's quite disgusting that that was there and it wasn't being picked up by the cordless Dyson. Even in max mode, we did use the max mode because we knew there was more suction in there. Obviously it wasn't picking up enough. The anti-hair up function is an active function, so I shouldn't need to actually dispose of any hair, but on the actual video there is some hair around it, but it's very minimal compared to what the Dyson was. If you go back to the picture of the Dyson before, that's like a month's worth of hair from my daughter and my wife. So I mean, you know, that I had to go in and cut that regularly. With this, I've used it for a month so far. It's barely had anything on it, and I think it's just one of them functions where it slowly over time it will fall off and go into the hoover as expected, and I won't have to have that maintenance of it all. And again, convenience. You may think the cordless is more convenient, but this thing is convenient because I'm not going to change from the carpet head all the way to the hard floor head, because that takes time. even when I'm actually wrapping it up, you know, unplugging it and putting it in back into the cupboard, the thing, again, the design of it, I think when you're actually wrapping the wires around, you're not doing it over and over again. So I think they've tried to make that distance bigger, so I'm only doing it a few times. And that's why I hated the original upright, is because it just felt like it was always unwrapping it and then plugging it in and wrapping it back up. With this, I don't have that feeling. I think it just goes around so much more quicker. That time spent there is gained from when I'm flicking between the hard floor and the carpet for the flick of a switch, rather than having to change heads on it. So unboxing impressions. So I would have liked to have done a nice fancy unboxing, but that didn't happen because I have kids. As soon as I got it out, they're already in the box thinking it was a spaceship. So had to improvise and take a quick photo before you know, the ship took off. So the thing is easy to build. It came in like 5 or 6 bits, and I put it together just working it out. Didn't even have to look at the instructions. The whole thing, as soon as I put it back up, was a lot smaller than what I thought. Comparing it against my Dyson upright that I had originally, that definitely seemed much bigger on the head, and you may think that might be a better thing, but for me, I think it's better having a smaller motorized head, because then any gaps in between the side of your sofa or underneath your dining chairs, it fits in with ease. You've not got to worry about it. It's going to fit in. You can use that function without having to put a crevice tool on instead, because that's going to take away time putting a different crevice tool on. It's more lightweight than anticipated. I think it's around 6 kilos. I actually mentioned the official weight in the specs a bit later on. But yeah, it's never an issue, especially with the powered lift away. If you're going upstairs, you don't have to take the whole thing upstairs or downstairs. You can use the powered lift away to just take away the bin unit where the actual power comes from, and just use the wand on it. So you're not carrying all the weight upstairs. You're only using part of the weight. So if it's more like 6 kilos, you're dropping that down to maybe 4 or even 3 by the time you've actually taken it apart and done it. And that's again just from a flick of a button. You're not going to do any heavy work to get that moved off. Aesthetically impressive. I mentioned it right at the start of the video. It looks the part, you know. As far as the hoover can go, it's convenient because it's small, tiny, lightweight, and that's exactly what I like about it for being an upright. So I've had it for a month now, and I feel like I've tested it to what I need it to do. I've used it in the house, I've used it in the car. So I think I've got a good basis as to what it's going to be like and what I do like about it. I'm impressed with the design. I compared it, if in car terms, it's the equivalent of having you know, a German car, so a Mercedes or a BMW, something on the lines of that. The powered lift away technology functions, that's what I mentioned. When you're going upstairs, you don't have to take the whole unit upstairs with you. Not that you would anyway, but you still got that weight tugging on it. When you take off the actual bin unit, you're not carrying around that motorized head and the wand. You could just use the handle if you really wanted to. So with that, you're not carrying that extra weight or having that weight leveraged. It's lightweight and convenient. It's way more lightweight than what I mentioned, or than what I thought it would be. It's convenient because when I want to go to a hard floor, I'm not going to change the attachments on it. I can just flick it from my thumb. It's so easy and convenient. The dual clean ability, the exact same thing. You can just flick in the switch from the hard floor to the carpet. Same thing. That's just the fancy marketing term that they use for it. Anti-hair up function. I've not got to have that maintenance there of having to snip the hairs on it. Not had to do it so far. And the filters on it, there's 3 different filters. One you have to do every 3 months, so obviously I've not had to do that yet. The other 2 you have to do yearly, which I'm really impressed with, because on the cordless Dyson, I had to change clean 2 filters monthly, which felt excessive. And after doing that, it did not take 24 hours. It took more like 48 hours to clean. So the whole thing, you know, took a lot of time out to do, especially if you're taking 2 days out of every month, and you know, you've got kids making mess. It's not convenient. So overall, the whole month, I was really impressed with the machine, the build quality of it. The wand on it, it just doesn't scuff like the Dyson did. Within the Dyson, within a week, the whole thing was scuffed so much. It was ridiculous how easily the wand was to scuff. And now, compared to this, for some reason the wand is actually the same colour, it's orange. This thing hasn't scratched one bit yet, and it feels like the same material, metally sort of material, but it's not scratched yet, touch wood. I imagine over time it will, but even so, compared to the Dyson, that thing was scratched up from the get-go. I don't know what the material they used in that, but it's scratched a lot easier. So the official specs is mainly white. The only orange bit that's on there is mainly the wand that's on it. Weight 6.5 kilos, which I don't think is that bad, especially if you're using the powered lift away. When I was using the car, I was taking the bit off it as well. The floor types are hard floor carpets. I haven't got to change the head. You literally flick the switch and you changed. Capacity 0.8 litres. Not had any issue with the bin capacity. With a cordless, you have to be careful not to forget to clean it, because if you forget to clean it, if you've cleaned your house, there's a good chance it could be fully filled up. But with this, I've not had that issue. We were always in the routine to get it emptied as soon as you finish cleaning, so we've always had that with the cordless, so I think we were well prepared for it anyway. So having the 0.8 litres was fine. Never had any issues with it. Cord length, not had any issues of restrictions by that cord length. It does the whole bottom floor quite easily as well as the top floor. Washable filters, I mentioned there are 3 filters. First one needs to be cleaned every 3 months, the other 2 every year. Guarantee 5 years. I think what I had in my Dyson was 3 years. Apart from the head damage that I had on it, which was then out of warranty when I had it, which is why I decided to get a new hoover. I actually had some damage in the bin. A bit actually sort of chipped, and that was holding the lock in place for the bin. So whenever you hoovered, you had to hold the bin lid in and sort of fall off. I did manage to get a replacement bin out. They sent it to me under the warranty, but I had to fit it myself. So would I choose it again? Absolutely, 100%. It's a good middle ground between having an upright and having the cordless. And I know it is an upright, and yes, it's got the functionality for me as a cordless because it is lightweight and convenient, but yet it has the power of an upright and it functions exactly like an upright would be. So for that, I'd 100% use it again. I don't see it as tedious as a normal upright. For some reason, it just feels so much more quicker and more of a pleasant experience when you use it. The weight distribution on the lift away function, I say it's sensitive. What I mean by that is, as you can see in this photo, when I took it off, if you're standing it next to it or you're just pulling on that hose wire a little bit, that stand-up bit tends to fall off. So I could have counteracted it by actually taking the motorized head bit and just having the wand or just having the handle. But depending on your situation, that head bit can fall down quite easily. So if you're going to use it, just take that bottom bit off. So in reality, that's more my fault really. If you're actually not using it for a photo like I was here, it probably wouldn't have felt if I actually take the wand out or if I take the handle out. I put customer service here. When I ordered this through the Shark website, which I'll put a link down below, which is an affiliated link, it came within next day, working day. I didn't have any issues with customer service. I think I even got a text as well to say it shipped. So straight from the get-go, I had good customer service. The reason why I put customer service here, because when I looked online and I was doing my own research, people did mention the customer service at Shark was pretty bad. But from a personal experience and just for the buying process, no issue so far. Ongoing, obviously I don't know what that's going to be, and I wouldn't like to comment on what it is. I've never been through that experience. So I put by using my link, it's just affiliated link. I've actually purchased it for my own money. I've not been paid in any way to do it, but it's just a way of giving back to me and the channel. If you use that affiliated link, it will take you through to a top cashback page, which is where I will receive the cashback from. It will go directly to me. So you click on it and it will just say going to Shark website, and it would then link you to the Shark website, and you just purchase as normal. You won't see any difference as to what's happened, apart from I'll get some affiliated income off the back of it. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, smash the like button and share it, just so more people can see the videos and I can continue to do these videos going forwards. Thank you.